Alright guys, welcome to Thick Boy Gaming. This is going to be my first video on the channel. I've really been loving Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I love Viking things, I love anything Viking themed. So yeah, and I've been thinking about doing a gaming channel, and I said why not. This game's been going great, and there's a lot of tips and tricks out there that can help you. For somebody who maybe is just starting, it's a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of things they don't tell you, a lot of things that you kind of have to figure out on your own. Little things like this. A lot of the stuff you'll get will be through the campaign. There is some stuff that you can kind of go a little bit ahead and maybe kind of jump ahead a little bit. So this shield I wanted to get into is awesome. So you restore some health on parry. Now I got this in this region here, and I'll tell you the camp I got it. So I got it at the quarry. It's gonna be in one of the loot boxes here. You just go down. There's like a little river that goes right down the middle, and it's behind a wall. You just have to blow it up, and then you go right through a crack in the wall, and the shield is there. This shield has been helpful, especially when you're fighting a boss, and it's coming down. You don't have any more rations. You don't have any more things to pick up off the floor to help you heal up. So that shield has been great for me. Another shield, I just got this. So this you get from finishing the quest that gives you here at this shop. So once you get a little bit further into Assassin's Creed, you'll open up this shop. I think you have to upgrade your settlement, and this is the Thousand Eyes kind of shop. And what they do is when you first come here, it'll give you a quest to finish 10 contracts. And this is what the shield looks like on your back. Great shield to use as well if you're a shield guy. It depends on what I'm doing. It increases ability damage when close to full health. Now I love using my abilities. It's a great way to finish off a boss when he's got a little chunk of life left, things like that. So the abilities are going to come in handy if you like to use the abilities. Trying to see, there was one more shield I wanted to show you guys. This shield here. This shield, parry has a chance to create a small fire around you. Now this is an awesome shield, and what you can do with this shield is you can add fire damage and then fire damage. So you'll be doing a lot of damage when you get that parry, and it's happened with me a couple times where I'm surrounded by about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 enemies, and I'll parry and everybody just catches on fire, and I just put in the work while everybody's burning. So yeah, that is another great weapon to find. Honestly guys, I found this shield a little while ago, so I'm kind of having a hard time remembering where it's at. I want to say it was somewhere in London, or maybe like in this area here. Honestly, when you can go to London first, because there's gonna be so this is a 90 power area. 55, where's the other? And this, so you're gonna have when you get into the campaign, you're gonna have 2 options. You can go here or you can go here. I would go to London first, because London has a bunch of loot, and one of the loot rooms you can't get into until you get to the campaign. You literally cannot get in there. I did see somebody use an ability to crack the door open. I've also heard that if you do that, it'll break the game and you won't be able to do the quest, and then you'll be stuck in the campaign. So no rush. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but yeah, so that shield is great. Now another thing that's awesome is the hammer. Now the hammers are great. So what the hammer does is it has that knock enemies on the floor. So this is great, especially for those smaller enemies. you can just knock somebody on the floor and just put in the work. I mean, while they're on the floor, you'll throw in a combo. And it's just it's so easy. They're on the floor and then they're not really doing much. They're not moving. All right, guys. So next, I wanted to show you is this shop. So the shop is behind the blacksmith. So I'm just gonna head over here. That's the blacksmith shop. So it's just directly behind it. And you have to upgrade your settlement to get this. Now, this is a great place if you're wanting to upgrade your loot, if you're wanting new gear, if you're wanting new abilities, if you need those ingots. This is the place to go. And now you can start finding raw materials. It wasn't until about like now that I started actually finding the raw materials in the shop. But yeah, this is a great spot. And usually these are more full, but I've gone through some of them, so you know it's kind of not showing everything. But yeah, this is a great place, and it'll put it on your map for you. And all you gotta do is make your way over there. And you know, usually, you'll find a lot of this stuff in the same place, like the raw materials. If you go to the raw materials, most likely when you raid all that stuff, you're probably gonna get an ingot, probably gonna get some gear, probably get ability. Usually there's like all three of those at the same spot. So all right, guys, so here, this one took me a while to figure out. This is another thing that I feel like the game doesn't really show you or kind of like really mention it. It's something you got to figure out, and if they did, I just didn't see it. But I maybe didn't figure this out till probably 2-3 days ago, and I think I was trying to take down like a mystical creature or animal, and I kept dying, and I was like, geez, I need something. And I was just running around kind of looking, and I found this. So this is what the feast buff is. So you'll get this stat boost, and if you see right where it says start feast, those two arrows at the top will be by your health bar, and that's gonna let you know how long you're gonna have that for. So once that goes away, that means all the stats are kind of gone, but you'll have them for a while. I don't know the exact time on it, but these are great stats. I mean, and it gets better. So if you upgrade your settlement, those like smaller shops kind of like on the outside of the settlement, those are all going to be feast buffs. So the more you upgrade the settlement, the better the stats. And this is great because if you're having trouble, like I said, fighting a boss or trying to take down a creature, this is going to come in handy, especially that health boost. I can't tell you how many times it's come down to like the last hit. And so you're gonna get this cutscene. You can skip it. You don't have to stay. So yeah, this is what it looks like. You know, just dance and drink and have a good time. So yeah, guys, I figured this out not so long ago, and I'm gonna show you guys here what I was talking about those two little arrows above your health. So right there, right above my health, you see those two arrows. Those are the stat boost. So like I said, I don't know the exact time on it, but that's letting you know that you have the stat boost, and it's great. So next here, I'm going to show you at the shop. So this is an easy way to get a lot of money, since it is pretty hard to get money in Assassin's Creed. You know, you probably know, and you might not, but choose what you spend your money on wisely, because like a lot of this cosmetic stuff, like the tattoos, like you're covered in gear the whole game, so it makes no sense to spend money on tattoos, hair. I mean, you know, it's up to you, but you know, it's hard to come by money in this game. So I you know, I don't waste it on that stuff. But this is what I wanted to show you with the fish. So you can fish, and if you go to the campaign, there is a small part of the campaign where you go fishing with one of the main characters in that part of the campaign, and that's really the only time I've seen the game really kind of show that you can go fishing. Like if that would not happen, I would have not known. And so so I was just selling my stuff, and I'm like, oh hey, you can sell the fish. So yeah, and then if you find like a shallow piece of water, grab a spear, and you can literally just kind of walk through the shallow water, hit the site of Odin, where you just click the analog, and you'll see where the fish are, and you can kind of just don't run, but walk over there, kind of, and just take the spear out and just start whacking them, and they'll come up, and you just kind of loot their dead bodies, and each fish costs a different, you'll get different amount of money, depending on the fish. But for me, the spear works best because you swing really fast with that, and it's got a bunch of range. The other range weapons are too heavy, and it's very slow, and the fish will move before you even have a chance. So yeah, find a nice shallow piece of water and kind of just walk around, hit the Odin site, and just get at it. On to the next thing. All right, guys. So what I want to talk about was spending your materials on the ration upgrade. So, like, me personally, like, when I first started the game, I was spending all my material on upgrading my armor, but I kept dying and dying, and I'm like, man, like, what's going on here? And then I was like, you know what, let me start doing the rations, and huge help, and like I said, and I keep saying it, when you're fighting these bosses and you're fighting these named enemies, it literally comes down to just, if you would have had a ration, you probably would have beat them, but now you got to start all over again, and you got to do this, that, and the other. You're gonna get new gear, so why spend all the materials you have on upgrading your gear? Now your weapons is a different story, because your weapons, you find a good weapon, why not upgrade it, because you're gonna use it. But the rations, that's what's gonna get you through. That's gonna make or break it sometimes. So that is one thing I recommend doing, is going to the rations first. Now here, I just want to talk about two of my favorite skills, which is the harpoon. Now the harpoon is great when you're fighting those big named enemies with shields, like the zealots. Some of them have like huge shields. Some of them have spears. They're all different kinds of weapons. I think I've killed about 4 or 5, and a half of them had like these huge shields. And you can heavy hit. You can use your abilities. You're not gonna knock them back from their shield. And the only way I found it was super easy was I would use the harpoon, and it wouldn't break the shield, but it pulls the shield out of the way, and it pulls them towards you. And right in that instant, when you pull them towards you, you can kind of throw in a combo. So yeah, that was very helpful. And this one is when I'm like out here looting, when I hit up that shop, and I'm ready to go find some new gear, find some new stuff. This is gonna save a bunch of time, so that you don't have to be looking for like jars of oil, and you have to carry them and then bring them back, and then you gotta shoot your arrow. Here you can just use your ability, blow the wall right open, and I mean, it's not a huge deal, but sometimes you do have to look for the jars of oil. They're not always super obvious, and if you're right there, might as well just use the arrow, get it out the way. Alright guys, and last tip of the day is going to be the Thousand Eye Shop. You can get really cool stuff here, very high-end things. You just have to do the contracts, get those things out the way. They're usually super easy. You just go kill like a person or two, or sometimes it's like a wolf or a bear. Alright guys, and this is the currency you get up top from doing the contracts. You usually get 5 per contract. It's not a lot, and most things cost like 100 to 120. The dailies are usually cheaper. They're usually like 50 or something like that, 100. But these top end items, they go from 120 to 150. So I got the sword. That's what I chose, just because I have so many shields, and I was getting, I needed a new weapon to try out, so I figured let's try out the sword, see how it is. So here I'm going to show you guys the sword real quick, and that'll be it for today. It comes with 3 rune slots, increased light damage after a heavy finisher. So yeah, it's nothing like crazy. I mean, I probably should have saved it and maybe got something else, but Oh well, it's a decent sword. You know, if you upgrade it. Right now I'm really stuck on the hammer just because of that knockback ability. But all right, guys, thanks for watching Thick Boy Gaming. Hope you enjoyed the channel. I know I don't have a lot of the locations for you guys exactly. I wish I would have started recording earlier, but like I said, I was still trying to figure out, you know, how I would get the video to, you know, editing softwares and things like that. So more content coming, guys, and I'm gonna keep it as detailed as possible. Make sure you guys hit that like button, the subscribe button. More Assassin's Creed coverage coming. Thanks, guys.